to G2G Kodia. We are doing an episode on the challenges of being a Christian youth in today's culture. So let's start. How did you guys first get introduced to Christianity?
Well, I'm pretty sure all of us, we are all born into the Christian community, so it's like all family.
Family. Same.
Yeah.
All of you?
Everybody?
Well,
Yes.
Except me, right? You too?
Yeah.
I happen to be the first Christian in my entire
that's interesting.
extended family.
So we're all Christian, and we've all pretty much been going to church our entire lives, except you guys. So if you were to rate yourself, this is such a weird question, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not and 10 being yes, how Christian would you rate yourself? Would you like to start?
Ooh. That's a hard question because me being Christian now is so different to me being Christian in like high school.
So what's your scale in high school and what's your scale now?
I was so straight edge, like I was a good kid. So I feel like I would have been like, I'm an 8. But I feel like some of the things like that I do or believe or go into is not necessarily seen as directly Christian. I would say maybe like not a typical, maybe like 6 or 7. Yeah. I would still pass.
Can we like define what a 10
Yeah,
is? Like what, who?
Only I think
Jesus?
only Jesus is. Don't worry.
Alright.
No one is
Okay.
10.
So automatically nobody's a 10, I guess.
Yes.
But what does it mean to be like a good, what does it mean to be Christian?
my answer isn't a number, it's always yes. Because it's like, I feel like it's pretty clear in the Bible that it's not about how good you do things. It's about your whole walk with God. Where is your foundation? And from there, where does that lead you? The whole book of James is about that. It's like, it's more about your works are a sign of your faith, it's not that your works are dependent on your faith.
Ever since I was growing up, I've always like, I guess I wouldn't consider myself, like when I was little at least, I was like, I'm the best Christian. Like, you know, like I would go to school and someone would do something bad and I was like that one girl was like, you shouldn't do that, you know? I'm like, that's not what Jesus wanted you to do. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm a Christian and you should be one too, you know? Like I was the one that was trying to bring all my friends to church and etc. And like I was homeschooled for 3 years. So that's like kind of impacted me because I grew up I'm a PK, pastor's kid, double PK because both my parents were pastors. So like, you know, I just felt like, yeah, I am like the Christian. Like, but then after I got homeschooled, I entered middle school, public middle school. And you know, like I've entered this world and bubble of like, what is happening? Like I have never encountered anyone who would like, this is like the time like I didn't think like 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds would like cuss at each other. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, what is happening? I was like so scared. And I realized like over time, I kind of just got used to it. And like, I think that's when my level of Christianity or being a Christian just started to like, I don't know, it wouldn't like not degrade or like lower, but I felt like at least in middle school and sometimes in high school, I have like 2 separate identities, like my Christian identity and then my identity as like a normal high school teenager who's going through adolescence and like, you know, like all of that.
So I feel like my level of Christianity is sort of like, I interpret it as my level of faith. So as I was growing up in my Christian household, my dad always emphasizes one sort of like idea to me where I need to be a good Christian, and in order to accomplish that, I need to like put my complete like trust in him. And for me, I interpret that as sort of my like my belief in that he has a plan for me, and that there's like some other purpose that I'm like meant to do. And this applies to all walks of life as well. So sometimes that level of how much I believe, there's a plan that he has set for everyone. That's sort of like wavers in times of like crises and strengthens it like when I go to events like retreat. So I can't really definitively say what level I am because it wavers a lot, but generally I do think I believe in him. So I don't really. If I were to rate myself, it would just be maybe a 5 because it's like right in the middle.
Okay, well, you guys kind of talked about it a little bit, about certain challenges that you face that may, make your faith waver, or when you come into a space that's different and you realize, oh, you're figuring out your identity in these different spaces. So what are some of the challenges that you guys have experienced being Christian youth in today's culture?
Being Christian and being part of like a minority group, like as Asians are people of color too, like especially when you're in the classroom setting where like my school is very liberal too, but like those, like my friends, they're not Christian at all. And so when you talk about like politics or something, they kind of associate Christianity with like more conservative people. And so I think for me, like being kind of silenced in the classroom and like the things that we learn inside the classroom about like Christianity, like the history of like Christianity and stuff like that, it's just like, what role am I supposed to have in that kind of a setting? Like what role am I supposed to take on with like the group of friends that I have? And so I think, yeah, it's just like a lot of like invisibility, a lot of silence that comes with like being Asian American and also Christian.
Well, for me, as a Korean, when I come into like a new setting, like high school or middle school, I usually feel more comfortable, like becoming friends with Koreans or people who are like me. So usually it's Koreans first. I approach Koreans first, but then once I find out that they're also Christian, then that creates a stronger bond for me, and it just makes my whole like school experience better because I know this person's Korean. They understand like all of my interests and my culture and my traditions. Like they enjoy Korean dramas or K-pop just like me, but also there's that aspect of Christian. They also understand the word of God. They understand that I like believe in these certain things that some of my other friends who aren't Christian might not believe. So I feel like that helps me in finding friends who are like me. But then that also sort of separates me from other people who don't believe in the same thing. So it makes it difficult for me to get to know the world outside being Christian and Korean.
My high school, there's very, very limited number of Koreans, very limited. At least in my grade, I think I only knew one other Korean in the entire school. And I was like, well, my counselor, she's Korean, and she told me like, yeah, there's like no Koreans at this school. And me going into high school, like I said earlier, like I had this sense of two different identities. Like I didn't know who I was supposed to be, what group or cliche, like you just didn't know where to belong. That sense of belonging I lacked my first year, and I started, I was in the magnet program, so it's like we're not secluded, but we are separate from the rest of the school. And I made a friend group, these two amazing girls. Both of them are not Christian, and one of them is I'm pretty sure she's atheist. She never talks about her faith. It's a very touchy topic for her, and the other is a Hindu. And I've never brought up my faith. I realized to them, like I've never told them, like I'm not hardcore Christian, but I am a Christian. These are my beliefs, and I think I brought up that LGBTQ essay that I wrote earlier to one of my atheist friends, and she said, "I'm gonna cry if you tell me how you feel." And I was like, "Oh God." So like I've had that conflict with my friends, and it's like especially difficult for Korean Americans who are also Christian to like find a group where you feel like you belong and you can like tell them how you feel.
I think you guys could feel, in a sense, double marginalized. You understand? So being a Christian is already in your culture is marginal, but being a Christian is also being a Korean is also racially marginal. So let me ask Sharon your question to you. So if you have to choose a friend who is Korean but non-Christian, whether it's a white or a black who is Christian, who would you choose?